reset it with the phone. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'll give it a minute for some people to populate in here, and we'll see what we got. The cell signal in the room wasn't that good, so this may or may not work. So we'll give it a second, get some people to come in. I'm gonna look over on my laptop and see if I can see some humans. Well, I got a feeling it's not a public one. Probably not. Set that up. All right, there's some people. All right, Myron, Mr. Kempy, let me know if it is streaming. Okay, I was gonna log into the computer to see if anything's coming up. Hey, Rustic, how you doing? Good day, everybody. Hello. Is it freezing up? At least the lip sync looks like it's on here, so it looks good. What's amazing is I've got a $2,000 computer here that will not stream this, and it's coming up absolutely fine on my phone. So that's technology for you. I'll give some people a second to jump in here. What we're going to do is try to field some questions about the Catfish Conference. It's good for now, not freezing. Okay, let me make sure of this. I'm actually going to turn off the Wi-Fi on the computer. Well, no, I really want that on so I can see what y'all are saying better. It's easier to see the comments up there than it is on here. Got a few people in there. There we go. Let it click back on. Good here. Be watching live, sir. Oh, there's your problem. $200 Walmart special work. Sadly, there's probably some truth in that. So we'll give people a couple minutes to get on here. And yeah, think of some questions. If you've got any questions about the Catfish Conference, hopefully a bunch of y'all will show up tomorrow, and I'll be able to see you in person. I know some people were there today, and I missed you. I got some phone calls from Steve Douglas trying to track me down, and I was probably taping podcasts. I taped like 5 different podcasts. I've got about 5 hours of shows. Some of it pretty good stuff I think y'all will be interested in. So that's a good thing to have going on. So let's see. That's back up. Make sure the volume's down on this so we don't get a big bad echo. And yeah, I'll kind of let you know what I seen today, what was going on, and what I liked, what I didn't like, and yeah, think of some stuff that y'all are looking forward to seeing if you're going to make it. First, just chime in with a yes if you're going to be at the show tomorrow. Howdy from Arizona. I bet you won't be here, but I'll bet you be warmer. I don't know though. If you're in northern Arizona, you could be in some bad weather. So we've got some yeses coming. All right, cool. There's some people that are in. It's as I was saying earlier, trying to say it's the weather outside of being cold is fine. It's an easy drive. Parking lots are clear, so if you have any mobility issues, I wouldn't worry about it. Sidewalks are cleaned off, so even if you're in some type of wheelchair or scooter or something like that, you won't have a problem. It's going to be easy to get around and be in. Pretty good crowd of people. I have not been in 2 years, and this is the first time back since we got the crappie stuff. I'm saying crappie today because I taped something with one of the guys from Crappie Magnet, and they say crappie wherever he's from. So the rule today is crappie. Now, when I start talking to people about fishing on Lake Wiley, we will be fishing for crappie. So I'm trying to be observant of the language of the people that I'm speaking to. So there you go. I'm just messing with you guys. It's we actually got into a fun discussion about that as to which one is the proper pronunciation. And it really is a regional thing, and it's not a southern northern thing or a southern or western thing. It's very just wherever, so no rhyme or reason to it. But trying to think, I think the coolest thing I've seen, and I posted some shorts about this. Again, I'm Josh Roth and River's Edge Reproductions, the replicas he does. Those things just continue to amaze me. He's got some flatheads here. I did something with him 2 years ago when I was here, and I've seen some he had some basic stuff then, and since then he's He's got blue catfish, black tip shark. I think there's a muskie, flathead catfish. There's some skipjack. The replicas he does, those things just continue to amaze me. So it was good to see that. But, those things are not cheap. They're not cheap to have made. They're not a skin mount. They are actually made on a plastic, plaster, whatever it's made out of form. He hand paints every one of them, so they're very unique to whoever, whatever the fish is that you're having a replica made for. So it's a piece of artwork. But, yep, they're not cheap. So I think last time I heard it was around $25 an inch to buy some of those. So the best deal, I put a video up about that, was the Catfish Pro had some rods that were scratch and dent sale. It was basically stuff that had been on display, people had dropped, maybe had a little chip in the paint, maybe a handle was dirty. And they had a bunch of those things that they were selling dirt cheap. There's a short on my channel that shows some of those. So you can go look at those and see what was there. There were not many left when I left the show this evening. So we will see if there's any left tomorrow. So if you're there and you want some Catfish Pro rods, pretty cheap, head on over there and I'd get them first thing. They're right in the door when you come in. They're literally the first booth on the right when you come in. And the other thing they've got are if you've ever seen me fish, the pistol grip pliers that I use on the boat. Another company made them. And I'm not going to give them a shout out because they would not even, I was trying to work with them on promoting some of their stuff and I couldn't even get them to email me back. Not even like, we don't like you. We don't want our pliers using a catfish mouth. They didn't say anything to me. And Catfish Pro sells some identical. So they've got some of those pistol grip pliers. Go get you some of those. Those things are worth getting and getting your hands on. Now, if you're into crappie fishing, there's a lot of people here with a lot of stuff. River Rat says, I won a Golden Whisker Award for Bank Angler of the Year. Congratulations on that. They were, I know I didn't make it to the awards. They were in the room next to me where I was taping the podcast today, so we could kind of hear it going on through the wall there. So congratulations on winning that thing. That's awesome. That's a good little thing that Kevin puts on with creating awards for some of the content creators out there. There's a lot of people trying to create stuff that's fun and entertaining. And I think For Real Fishing won. I was listening there at the end. He won New Creator of the Year or something like that. So that's awesome that some of you guys that are content creators are getting recognized and stuff. If you happen to be there and you're a content creator tomorrow, come say hey to me. I'm roaming around all over the place doing all kinds of different stuff. And if there's anything you would love to chat about, collab on, maybe get some ideas, some of that stuff, be glad to help you out, pass on what little bit I know, and hopefully learn from some of you guys, because I'll be honest, it's an evolving landscape on YouTube. And I think some of the newer people may assimilate into it better than some of us that have been at it for a while and maybe doing some of the same old stuff. It's kind of like fishing. Sometimes when you come into it with a new set of eyeballs, you can learn and get smarter and that kind of stuff. So if there's any questions, throw them up in the comment section there. I'm trying to pay attention now. It looks like it actually does stream. Will you be in any particular booth or just walking around? Troy, I'll be walking around and be in the back taping some podcasts. I'm actually going to go sit and listen to some seminars. I actually sat in a seminar for the first time in all the catfish conferences that I've been to. I've never sat in a seminar before. And there was a crappie fishing seminar with actually the guy who I interviewed for the podcast. That's actually where I snagged him at. And I sat in one today, and I'm going to try to get in one tomorrow. Mika Burkhart, who I'm going to tape a podcast with tomorrow. He's a Mad Cats angler. And he also, could you accommodate someone with mobility issues on a Lake Norman guide trip? It depends what it is. Usually what I do on that is I'll show people what the boat looks like. And, the hardest part on all the trips is getting somebody into the boat and out of the boat. So hit me up, message me after this week, and I'll send you some pictures and let you look at the boat and see if it's something that can be You can get into Operation Vets with Nets, who I donated some trips to, actually is building a pontoon boat that is accessible for wheelchairs. I wish I had something like that. If I ever win the lottery or I ever get a really good sponsor, that's what I would love to have, is a pontoon boat that has accessibility so you can get up into the boat. It's a tough thing that, we don't think about. This sounds stupid, but I think about stuff like that when I'm pushing my gear cart around, believe it or not. And those things, for me, obviously I can do it. I'm fine. My legs working, all that. But it's wheeled, it's heavy. And I think about people like that, have those, things just trying to get around. Today, going out of the hotel, the area where the wheelchair ramp is, which I ought to use to push the cart off of, was iced over. They had actually plowed the parking lot, but had pushed a bunch of ice into where the ramp is. So I was thinking, man, if somebody's in a wheelchair, they'd get to right here and be stuck. And I think about that kind of stuff. I think about it on the boat. I see going on to there, and I'm like, man, that's tough. But yeah, it hit me up. I thought I'd seen something there, a comment about it. But yeah, I wish that was easier to. No legs, but can climb a tree if needed. That's pretty interesting. I had a friend growing up that lost his legs in Vietnam, and the man was amazing. We saw him one day at a gas station, and my son was little then, and I was talking to him in the gas station, and he came in his wheelchair, and we were walking out, and Grayson kind of whispered, he said, "Daddy, do we need to help him get in his truck?" And I said, "Son, you just need to stand back." I said, and watch. And he wheeled up to the truck, popped that thing through the chair up into the back of it, climbed in the truck, and Grayson's like, "Yeah, we just need to stay out of his way," and that's what he's doing. So yeah, Mr. Gippy, look for me. Shoot me a message or whatever, and I'll be around tomorrow, roaming the halls, looking around. I'm gonna try to be at that seminar with Mika Burkhart. He's doing, as I was getting ready to say, he's doing his 2-time state record holder for Tennessee, current state record holder for a blue catfish. Mika's going to be doing his seminar in the morning. I think it's in my phone. I can't tell you what it is. That's the one complaint I'll get to in a minute about the Catfish Conference, but I think it's 9-ish, 9:30, something like that. I may pop a short up in the morning and just let people know when that one is. That's one of the complaints with the Catfish Conference, is the information is hard to come by on what's going on. And about the only place to find any info is on the Facebook page. They have a website, but most of the links on the website don't work. The ones that do work, a lot of them go to last year's information. So that's something they need to deal with and update. On a positive note, I am staying in the hotel that they listed as basically the show hotel. And great hotel, one, nice, clean, good shape hotel. Got a grill out front. There were a bunch of people out there cooking, offering me food as I walked in with food already that I had. Great hangout place. Conveniently located. It's about 8 minutes away, so it's close to it. And the best price of anything that we can find. And I looked around, shopped around pretty good. So keep that in mind. I give Stephen and do a good job for picking out this hotel, and appreciate the hotel. Where are we staying? Let's give them a free plug. Town Place Suites. Town Place Suites. If you're ever in Louisville for any reason, Town Place Suites, they'll probably be doing it. I think they did it last year too, so a good one to hang out at. Trying to think of anything. Good boat selection. Sea Art's got their stuff here. There's some other people with boats. Again, as always, there are so many fishing rods. From Crappie, Double of Fishing from Crappie Man Jigs crew. Crappie Man Jigs, I love the channel. I think he was live earlier tonight doing his stuff. Is Catfish Sumo and SmackDown there? Yeah, I think. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know for sure. I think so. I think they're here. I kind of looked around, but I kind of got sidetracked because I talk to people, and when people come by and we start talking, I get I get sidetracked. So I think they're here, but I'm not totally sure. Sumo Gear is in the Big Cat booth. Okay, so that may be what's going on there. Is that a lot of times some of these people that have a particular product don't necessarily have their own booth, but will sell it in some different, different booths that are there. So pretty much it's safe to say this: anything in the catfishing world is here to be bought. It may not be the actual manufacturer, the brand themselves with their own booth, but they're going to have it at one of the vendors here. As I was saying earlier, there's a ton of fishing rods, and you can go to a Mad Cat's booth and see their stuff. You can go to a Catch the Fever booth and see everything they got, and then you can go over to Tackle Bandit or one of the other ones, and they'll have everybody's rod there for sale. So it's a good little mix of stuff. Multibore had a great deal. I went by there and they got Multibore does have some cool stuff. They've got some different brackets for putting sonar units on, mounting cutting boards. The cutting board thing was worth looking at if you're at the show. Howdy, Shelby. Shelby, North Carolina, that is, not a person. And yeah, they got a quick release plate that mounts onto one of the multi-bar brackets. And if you don't know what a multi-bar is what I run on my Lund boat for the rod holders. And it's a infinitely adjustable rod holding bracket. And they make some smaller versions of it that you can put a sonar unit on, you can put a cutting board on, you can put all kinds of different stuff on. The squeaky noise is the chair, and it's making a noise. Speaking of squeaky noises, I hit a chair in the road last night coming back. That's right, coming down the interstate, look up, driving, looking, and see something black. About that time I realized it's a chair. It was luckily a thin metal chair, but enough to rip out the plastic air intake on the front of the truck. And it was one of those where you can't really swerve. It's kind of dangerous. You're just going to have to hit it and pray. Quick prayer, hit the chair. Oh, that's a rhyme. I didn't mean to do that. Quick prayer, hit the chair, heard a noise, heard it go out. And I thought, well, I hit it. It went under the truck. I'm watching the gauges, looking. It goes, it's on the front of the truck. Radiators right there. Check the brakes. Brakes were still working. Brake lines weren't cut. Watch the gauges, and I get to I changed lanes, and I heard something, and I'm like, oh no, is that something underneath the truck, or is that something with a brake rotor that's been hit? And so anyway, I pulled off the interstate, pulled off into some grass, and sure enough, a piece of the chair was up, unwrapped around the basically where the wheel assembly is. Somehow, I don't know how, didn't punch a tire, didn't tear up a brake line, a boot, or go through the radiator. It was just wrapped up in there, was able to pull it out. And as far as I know, outside of the damage to the basically flow intake on the front of the bumper, that's it. So I don't know why I told that story, mainly because I was frustrated and just wanted to cry, but it happens and life goes on. So where were we? Back to the questions about the catfish. Oh, the squeaky noise in the chair. That's how I got off on that tangent. So your road trips have been tough. Yes, Daniel. Yeah, when I was pulled over in the interstate, I was waiting for you, Daniel, to show up because you showed up at the last one. When the deal with Grace. By the way, Grayson's truck, Daniel, in case you're wondering, some of y'all followed it when I was looking for a repair place. State Line Automotive, by the way. If you're ever around Danville, Virginia, just across the North Carolina line, State Line, message me, call me, whatever. Great guy. He's a fisherman. He's the one that took care of my son's truck after his little mishap in the middle of nowhere. Wasn't his fault. He shouldn't have been up there to begin with. But girls will do that to you sometimes. And anyway, the good news was it wasn't horribly bad. It was basically a seized up wheel bearing is what we think led to it shearing off the lugs that the lug nuts are on. It's a big mess. So if you didn't see that a couple of weeks ago, it's finally fixed. And we fixed a couple other things while they were in there working on it. So Black Betty, as we refer to her, our 24-year-old truck now, is back on the road. It's our 21-year-old truck. So anyway, let's see what else is in here, question-wise, comment-wise. The seminars are definitely worth going to. There's going to be several of them more. And I think there's the ACA is having their Hall of Fame awards. I did not see an ACA presence, but then again, I didn't walk around a lot. I don't know. I didn't see that they had a display or anything like that. I assume that will also be in the hall. The one good thing, if you've come to past Catfish Conference shows, they actually took my advice on moving the seminar from room. I guess they may have done this last year, but I know a couple years ago I was set up in the room I'm set up in now, and I was like, man, these rooms are very nice. They're very quiet. They used to have them out on the floor in the big, exhibit hall, and it was loud. It was echoey. And now they put them into a nice room, nice chairs. It's much more quiet. It's away from all the other stuff going on. So you can hear a lot better as to what's going on, in the seminars. And good shows. There's some good people in there giving some good information, and good audio system, good audio feed on it. So I think you like that. And I'm trying to think, hopefully somebody will throw in a question or something here that will spur something. Get back on there. That gets me thinking about anything else, but I don't want to sound greedy, but are there giveaways at the show? Troy, I think there are some people doing some things oriented around some booth, and you'd have to look. I know there was somebody that had some kind of a wheel thing going on, and yeah, so I think there is some stuff. How much does it cost to get in? It's a real good question. I want to say $10. I'll have to check on that. Obviously, I've got a media badge for being in there, so I don't know how much it was. I'd say go to the website. I think the website does have pricing information on it. I do think they did get that on there. I think they do have the ticket price. Again, it's not much to get in. It's not much. I think it costs you more to park than it does to get into the show. Sadly, the parking is out of their control. That is controlled by the Expo Center. That's where the Expo Center makes part of their money. $15, I think, to park is what it ended up costing. The cool thing is, if there's anything good out of that, is I think there's a gun show going on also. Go to the Kentucky Expo Center website and look, but I think there's also a gun show going on because the other part of the Expo Center is loaded with people. There's still a lot of people in there. So I think it's a gun show. Every year it seems like there's been a gun show here going on. So there you go. Let's see. Any recommendations for a good replacement reel as I'm on the hunt for one? Currently using Abu Garcia 66XX, and this was my first baitcaster. Depending on how much you want to spend, the PC funds with the power handle, I think it's the 50 class, 50 or 60. You get a power handle. It's on a reel that's, I want to say, $60, somewhere in that price point. It's a good lower priced reel without going extremely cheap. There's some of the stuff you can find on Amazon. I've done videos on some of the Suge Langs. I think they're cheaper, but I think they're cheaper. So the 50 Chaos Rustic Outdoors is saying, yeah, that's one that I think is a good bang for the buck in that price point. I thought it was going to break sooner. I've said that in some videos. I think I've got a video profiling it coming up in a couple of, maybe a month or so. I got a bunch of videos that have already been done and up, ready to go. But that one comes in at a good price point. The ones from Mad Cats, they are on display here. Those are some good looking reels. I think it's that similar technology. Theirs are really sexy in that they've got some cool colors and some cool colored power handles also. Another one that you can buy an aftermarket power handle for, the Catfish Pro reels. They've got it's almost like an economy version and then a little more expensive version. I think it's just in the build quality and the size of the spool. They sell power handles, but they're basically identical to the Gomex's power handles that I use. And I think I've got some videos up about the Catfish Pro ones. They're about 19 bucks. They're not that. They're as cheap as the old style. This is the one that's got the little wheel on it with the bearings that just spins and spins and spins. Ancient Mariner reels look good as those well. They do. I don't see any of those on sale here. They obviously don't have a booth, but they may be selling them at some of the tackle places that have Ancient Mariners. I've seen them in the past. I kind of did a quick glance around today, and I didn't see any, but they could be here. So it brings up a good question. I've been popping up a bunch of shorts during the day. Try to put up a few today, just showing some kind of stuff. If there's anything you would like to see a quick little video of, let me know. I may try to shoot something of it. There was a place I found some bobbers, or not bobbers, but peg floats that I used. I found a place that had 100 count bags of them. You know, for me, that's a good little thing to have. I'll have to show you their little setup tomorrow. So let's see here. Everywhere goes as well. Any new lighting for night fishing? Nothing that I've seen. I didn't see any real display lighting. I know the Alpha boards. I taped a podcast with the guy who created that board. I know they've got some lighted boards, some lights for the board. I'm going to learn more about that. I may actually try some of their boards out and see how they work and how they swim. They make a light for them. You know, I told them I said I don't do that much night fishing, but would like to at least see what's involved with them. There's a way to illuminate them. I know lights and water, sometimes not a real good combination when it comes to corrosion, but we'll see what they got. I think it may be something besides, you know, a battery power. Thank you. I was looking at Mad Cats and Mariners, but we're looking at the others that were mentioned. Yeah, that's the great thing. Is that you can come pick this stuff up, look at it, try it out, and see what's going on. I know Catfish Pro had some that were part of it. I put that short up about that scratch and dent sale they had with some of their display models. They actually had some reels too, and I didn't realize that. And there may be a couple left. If you're wanting some of those, I would go straight to the table as soon as you walk in the door tomorrow. As soon as you walk in the front door, they're right there on the right. They may have some of the reels left. I don't know. There weren't many of those left. I know one guy came in there and bought like a dozen of them or something. And I've got somebody that's wants me to pick up like 8 of the rods if there's any left. And it was funny because Mike had hit me up about, he was wanting to sell these things. You know, he said, hey, they're not new. They're not brand new. They're not flawless, like, you know, straight out of the package. He said, but, you know, he was like worried about selling them. And, you know, I said, dude, you're honest. I said, that, you know, they're display models, and people gobbled them up, and it was a pretty cheap deal. It was a good way to get into those things at a good price. So that was pretty cool that he did that. So, but yeah, if there's anything you want a quick little info on, a quick little shot of something that you're interested in, I can probably throw a short together on. That was kind of fun shooting some of those today with a couple of different things there. So doing some ice fishing for channel casts this weekend should be interesting. Listen, I after being out in the cold here, and it's been pretty cold. It ain't been crazy cold, but it's been pretty cold. And I was going out, when was it, yesterday, and it was pretty chilly. This morning it was pretty chilly. And I was just thinking, man, one, I'm glad I'm not going fishing. And ice fishing came to mind. I was like, I'm glad I'm not ice fishing. This would really be cold. But when you're dressed for it, it's a different animal. So the Crappie video was great. Enjoyed it. JJ Hill, I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to do some more of that. I'm going to try to broaden up some of the reach with stuff. Not doing away with catfish by any means, still doing that, but just trying to broaden up some of the reach with some of this stuff. Actually, when I taped the stuff with the guys today from Crappie Magnet, you know, I told them they didn't know who I was. I didn't really know who they were. And, you know, I kind of had to confess to them that, you know, somebody saying, Clint, what door do we enter for the show? It's the one on the west wing. You'll see the big sign there that says West Wing. Just think of the White House. And Donald Trump's not here, but just think of the White House. Think of Donald Trump, and you'll be there on the west wing, and that's where you come in at. So they'll kind of point you that direction at the gate. But you know, I told him, I said, I'm not super duper crappie fisherman. Everything I'm doing is kind of just, you know, crappie fishing for dummies. I said, and that's what I'm trying to show the people that I'm, you know, on the channel, is how to basically start at the beginning and So if y'all are interested in that, but I had to confess to them, the only reason that I learned to fish for crappie the way that I do is because I use them for bait. And there was a collective gasp from the entire group there at the crappie magnet group. And, they about threw me out, but, I talked them off from throwing me off the ledge. And, I said, now I eat a lot of them and keep a lot of them and I only use the carcasses after I fillet them. So it kind of made things a little bit better. But yeah, that's how I learned to fish for striped bass, crappie, white perch, just because I use them for bait for catfish, and I will continue to do that. But they're fun to catch, and for some people, it's a cheaper entry point. A lot of you people, not all of y'all, fish for catfish that tune into the channel, and the cost of entry to go fishing for panfish is considerably cheaper, just in the amount of gear that you need. And honestly, I think the equipment that you need, just everything, so it can be a little cheaper entry point. And then, of course, you learn how to catch them. If it's legal, you got some bait that you can actually use. So not everybody gets to do it. So PC Fun beat Ancient Mariner reels. I have 6 PC Fun Cast 60s and 2 Ancient Mariner reels. PC Fun are much smoother as the gears of the Ancient Mariner grind and are rougher. There you go. There's Leanne's take on it. I've had good luck with them. I've had paws wear out in the Ancient Mariners. But depending on what you got and what you get, and it and how you use it, sometimes stuff can wear out if you're putting a lot of weight on it. I've had good luck with them. Like I said, the paws have went out, and I think I got 2 of the Ancient Mariners now that need paws and worm gear replaced in them, and I need to hit them up about getting that. But the thing I tell people too, as I get a little sip of my drink here, I've been talking a lot today. Imagine that. A bunch of y'all are going, yeah, well, what's new? On a lot of those reels, those less expensive reels, cheaper reels, whatever you want to call them, is to keep in mind, use them within what they're designed and built for. They're not really built to put on 80-pound braid. I've seen people do that and wonder why they break. They really can't take that kind of load. Locking the drag down, you'll bend spindles and that kind of stuff in them. So keep that in mind, but also keep in mind too, these are not, Stella reels. Look up a Stella open face spinning reel, and you'll see the $700-800 price tag on it, and it's an expensive reel. These are not those. So if you're trying to get something that's entry level, these are some of the reels there, and that's why JJ said you can reach out to the Spire. Yeah, he seems to be very open. I've gotten calls from him before for stuff. He's just sent them to me. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I've used some of the reels. They've sent reels for me to try out. But as y'all know, I kind of speak the truth about stuff. I heard that from a lot of people today, was that it kind of stood out as I'm kind of rebranding what's going on with my channel and Dieter Melhorn Fishing. I got from a lot of people the same comment, that they appreciate the truth. They don't always like it. They don't always agree with it, but that on various topics, I'm honest about stuff. And, even if somebody sends me something to use, I use it, and I may like it, I may not. I give you the good points, the bad points, and where it fits at in all those different places. Lucas, hey, you should fish in Brazil. I agree with you. I should fish in Brazil. Is that where they have the red-tailed catfish? I would like to go catch one. I heard last night that they're kind of easy to catch as far as the different species. I wish I had a bigger sense of adventure, more time, and more money, and I would go do some of that stuff. I just wonder how it would be received as far as people watching. I think people would watch it. I don't think it would go crazy. So there you go. It's not always pretty. How's that? It's not always pretty, but some drama does sell. The quickest way to get views, honestly, on YouTube is just drama stuff. I try to stay away from drama. There are things, as a matter of fact, I do stay away from drama. There's a lot of stuff in this industry I could jump in the middle of, and it would create a lot of stir, and it would create traffic. And it would, yes, this is in Louisville, Devon, running through Saturday. Saturday's the last day. So I think they do that so they can give people time, a place to try, or ability to travel home on Sunday. So, but yeah, I stay out of the drama as in the, there's stuff that I talk about that is, I guess you could say, maybe controversial, maybe not the best news around, but I only get into stuff really that there's a solution for, or if it's just news oriented. There have been some stories from the industry that are just really sad stories, people getting hurt, people getting killed, bad things happening, but in every one of them there's been a way to learn from it and maybe save lives. I think some lives have been saved because of some of the stuff that's being discussed, and I'll continue to do that. I'll be the one to do it. I'll be the harbinger of the bad news if that's what I have to do. I heard that was kind of in that same sentence. When something happens, we feel like you'll talk about it and tell a story. So thank you for those that appreciate that and enjoy that. I'll continue to do that. Like I said, there's enough drama as in just arguments that go on. That's not really something I'm going to get into. There's other fishermen that will do that, and I think we know who they are. I'm not going to get into that. If there's a solution to something, making it better, it's like I said about the Catfish Conference with the website information. That's something they need to tackle next year, is making sure that they get that website updated, because it's a lot easier for me to point people to the website to get information than it is to go find a Facebook page. Facebook's great as long as you're already tied into it. But if I'm trying to tell you guys, hey, where can you find out how much a ticket is? I say go to catfishconference.com and you check it out, and it's easy to go. Or what time are the speakers going to be tomorrow? Well, you can't find that on the website. It's on the Facebook page somewhere, but you got to go back several days to find it. So you can see that that's something that there's a solution for, and hopefully next year I think they will get it taken care of. But they did nail the hotel. I like the hotel. Very, very good job there. And they've done a really good job too with smoothing out the operation and getting people in the door. One thing I didn't see this year, I saw a couple of years, was the line. Well, it may be different tomorrow. There may be a Friday's kind of always the slow day, but people got in the door quickly this year. I was impressed with that. So this thing has gotten better and better every year. And we want more and more and more and different stuff, but I think there is a limit to just how much stuff, how many vendors can be here. And yeah, hit the like button. I appreciate that. Just another thing I never do. I never ask for hit subscribe, or I know you're supposed to do that in this world, but I figure if y'all like it, you'll subscribe. If you like it, you'll like it. And if not, you won't. But I love y'all anyway. But they've gotten the show bigger, a little bit better every year. But I think there is a limit. There's only so many vendors out there, so many different people. And either they are grilling outside, go. Just a play. Dude already ate. I spoke to them. They said, I think tomorrow night's a low country bowl. That I will have to jump on. That is well within my low carb diet. I skipped the potato part of it, but I'll eat the meat. And if they're doing a boil, if anybody is down there talking about the boil, I may go get a pound of shrimp and have you cook it for me, just because I'll eat the heck out of some shrimp. What platforms have your podcast? I think all of them. I'm going to be honest with you. Everything is on the YouTube channel. And let me clear that up for some people. One, I still put up the audio only version. It does okay. Some people listen to it. Most people listen to the stuff on the YouTube channel because it's the video format of it. And it's, I still call it a podcast. It's more of a show, a video. It's my talking mouth. It's in the podcast sense that it is a continuous conversation, like I do here, talking to you guys. And it's just like radio. Radio is all about no dead air. Somebody's got to talk the entire time until you roll in commercial break. And Deidre's channel is #1 on YouTube. Leanne, you're very kind. You're very sweet. I love you. Purple hearts everywhere. I wish it was #1, but as long as it's #1 in your heart, that is what matters. So, yeah, I'm not Mr. Beast. I think he's #1 now. I think he's the big guy. But yeah, I have no aspirations, desire, or energy to do that. But I appreciate you saying that. Try to keep it real. Try to keep it real for this niche of people. And, that's what's cool. I like where I'm at. I had good conversations with people today about some of that stuff in the fishing world, the catfish world, the crappie world. And it kind of, I'm in my home, basically, with what's comfortable for me and what I like and all that kind of stuff. Trying to jump in to see if there's any questions in here. Okay, Kevin Hamlin, on your YouTube award as well. Thank you, JG. Yeah, I finally put something up on that. Uh, I don't know, a few weeks ago. That was cool to get that. As I said it was kind of a goal. I wanted to. I knew I'd get. I mean, it's kind of one of the things. If you keep putting out content, you'll eventually get to it. I mean, it's kind of like that. I mean, I knew I'd get to it. Didn't, but it's changed. The whole thing with subscribers has changed somewhat with YouTube. It's more about the views. The views make me. That's more of a good barometer of what's going on. But it was good to get to it. I got it. It's on the wall. I don't think I'll ever hit a gold button, which is 1,000,000. I don't see the channel with the content I do, even expanding it into a little bigger niche. I don't see it happening with the type of content. I would have to change the type of content that I put out, I think, to hit that. But I never say never. I never know what I'm going to do. Who knows? I just kind of roll with the punches, and God gives me what I get, and I go with it, and we just kind of go from there. So there you go, JJ. Have a good evening. Take care. We'll see you soon. Probably off topic. This is always fun. Probably off topic, but I'm a new boat owner. First of all, there is no topic on one of these live streams. I just jacked my jaws. Have any experience with Dorado latch? No, I don't even know how to pronounce that word. And I'm not sure exactly what it is. Is it literally a latch, like a hatch latch? Or is that a term for something else going on with the motor? I've never heard the term. We've got people in this chat way smarter than me that may be able to chime in. Patrick said, I like your channel. Thank you. I use the Santee Cooper rig, bank fishing solely now. That's cool. Honestly, I love that rig. I mean, it's a good setup. It's versatile. Worst case, if you want your baits laying all the way on the bottom, slide the cork all the way up to the swivel and the sinker, and it'll lay on the bottom. So that's kind of the good thing about that. Any thoughts on doing catch and cooks? Devin, I've been wanting to do some, and I'm going to do one. I'm trying to think of what schedule looks like. I'll try to do one for the spring because I got a lot of content that's already up for the next 2 months. But I'll do one with a no-carb fish fry. That's right. Anybody trying to cut the carbs, I've got a no-carb fish fry that actually tastes amazing. That's the only way I've been cooking fish lately. So for self-trailering and your boat, I wonder if that's that thing that locks on there when you pull up onto it and it kind of clamps onto it. And I wonder if that's what you're talking about. Maybe. I don't know. No, I'm not familiar with it. With use. Some of them do. I think it depends on the person and how they deliver. It's like a lot of things. There's a lot of things that, I've seen that people go, oh, that worked for so-and-so. I'm going to do that. And sometimes it's personality, personality means a lot in YouTube, and some people resonate more with people than others. So the bird does like them on the trailer that latches when you load the boat. Yeah, I've seen those things. They look pretty cool. There was another one with the rope thing when I first got my Lund and was unloading it. So yeah. Have you ever fished out in Oklahoma? Never have. And after seeing some of the temperatures recently, I'll never go there. No, I'm just kidding. I saw some temperatures, was looking at some of the stuff out there when we were looking at what snow was coming through here. And it was some bitter cold temps out there. I'm trying to think if I've ever even been in Oklahoma. And I think that may be a state I have not been to. I know I've been to Nebraska now, Colorado, Wyoming, Texas. I don't think of what else is over in that corner. I've not been to New Mexico. And I'm trying to think. I don't think I've been to Oklahoma. Did some shoots out in Arkansas, which is sort of kind of over there. And yeah, Oklahoma's one I hadn't even been to. So I know one thing. I was looking at going deer hunting out there on somebody's land. And the thing I learned out there is I question Oklahoma because apparently part of it has some water and some rivers, and the rest doesn't. Because they were telling me with going deer hunting out there, wherever you hunt, if you got water, you'll kill stuff. If you don't have water, you may as well be in the middle of the desert when it comes to seeing any kind of animals or wildlife. So that's one of the things I remember about Oklahoma. But yeah, I've never been out there. Yo, Dieter, missed you today. Hope to see you tomorrow. Go check out Gorilla Bob's restaurant before you go back home. John, Gorilla Bob's. What does one eat at Gorilla Bob's? What kind of food is that? Let us all know. That's kind of interesting. So, ever fished Claytor Lake or New River in Southwest Virginia? I know where New River's at. I've been across it. I've never fished either of those places, but one of the things I'm going to do, and I've got a video coming out on it, I'm going to do some lake reviews. Where would I fish? I've got one coming out for a lake in Virginia. I don't even know the name of it. A guy emailed me and said, hey, what do you know about this lake? I didn't know anything. And I pulled up some maps and did some stuff. I think I'm going to start doing some of those. I think they're kind of interesting. Not so much to clue somebody in on a particular obscure lake, but the thought process that goes into finding some of that. So we'll see how this one is received that comes out and see if y'all like it. So I thought I saw a video about you being on Lake Norman, but it was probably someone else. Stanley, I've got a video that I think has a thumbnail that says like lake record or something like that on it. It's me holding a big fish. It's the biggest fish I ever caught on that lake. It was caught back in December. I caught it right after I caught the biggest catfish that I've ever caught, the personal bass. I think its lake record is a 61 pound blue that I caught on Lake Norman, which I had I don't know. I was over blessed, as I say, with some of the fishing I did earlier this year, kind of in the wintertime. So, there you go. Ever fished Boone, Watauga, or South Houston in East Tennessee? None of them. None of them. The thing is, what's bad is I need to do a little more adventure fishing, as I call it, which are places like that. I've been kind of slack on it, honestly, since I got my captain's license and started guiding, because I used to have more time early on with the YouTube channel, and now I end up, a lot of that time is occupied with guide trips. I mean, I've got some streaks where it's a week straight, 2 weeks straight of trips, which, you know, is a lot. And that could be days where I could be going on some of these adventure trips. But after running over a chair in the road coming up here and driving through a snowstorm, I don't know if I want too many more adventures anytime soon. But Gorilla Bombs is kind of a street food with some Louisville classics mixed in. Very cool. I may have to look that up. Smith Mountain I've been to. Striper Fishing Lake. Pretty lake. Smith Mountain is not the lake that I reviewed. What is the... Hang on, I'll tell you. I think I can look here at my channel and tell you what that lake is called. And I'll tell you the date that the video drops. I'm looking here on my channel. You know what? Let me look. I'm just looking at what's coming up. There's a bunch of knot tying videos. Y'all are going to get tired of seeing knot tying videos, but there's an amazing amount of people that want to see those. You know what? I don't have that thing. I need to put that back in. It's not scheduled. I pulled it off the rundown, and it's sitting unlisted now. So I'll have to put that one up, but I'll tell you what it's going to be. I'll tell you what it is anyway. Oh, there's another one I haven't scheduled to be. I got a bunch of videos that kind of got pulled out. Where do I start fishing is the name of the video. You know what? I haven't written a description on it. So, yeah, I don't even tell you what the lake is until I get into it. I don't even remember what the lake is. Let's see if I can tell you. Let me see here. That's basically on where do I start fishing on this lake? Here's me talking. Thought we had some volume going here.
Where I would start out fishing. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take a lake I've never been to, and I'm going to look at it and kind of break it down as to what I would look for. I don't know anything about this lake except for its acreage. Justin sent in this lake to me.
Justin sent it.
To take a look at it. It's in West Virginia.
It's in West Virginia.
I've been wanting to do some of these. There have been some issues with the software, and I'll save that rant for the end if you want.
I'll go ahead and give you an update on that. Navionics now is owned by somebody else, and getting access to their software is a yeah, I don't know. It's a subscription
See
deal,
it.
and it kind
It's
of makes
about
me.
Garmin.
And it's owned by Garmin, and it kind of makes me mad. So anyway, I go into a good little rant in this video, and I'm trying to see the name of this lake, but it's in West Virginia. I'm sitting here. GPS Nautical Charts is who I actually use to look at. I want to say the VIP pass is $50. Does that? I don't. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell y'all some of this. Let's see how bad the website .com. I was gonna look on the website and see if it tells right here the good old YouTube. Another way, Route 25. Dang, I closed it out. My bad. Hang on. I don't know what the VIP gets you, except it may be early access. I think that's what it is. And I don't know how important early access is going to be, except if we're trying to get those Catfish Pro rods. I don't know how valuable that's going to be. It's not as crowded as it used to be for some reason, and I think some of that might have been the cold. 55. Get tickets. $10. It looks like tickets are $10 to $55 is what it says. So that would probably be those two price points on that. So I don't know. Maybe if if there were some other people doing some like little giveaways or something, it might be worth it to get in there. Like I said, maybe this Catfish Pro might be warranted. Okay, McGimmy says it was worth it. Handicap parking was packed, so for some people it may be worth it to get in there and get in early. You do have, I will say this, you can kind of roam where you want to. There's fewer people. You can look at stuff. It's not crowded. You got a better chance, especially if you want to talk to somebody, say Caleb Page from Catch the Fever. Probably gonna have better access to get a hold of him and talk to him or something. With less people there, less people around. If it's Matt Knight from Mad Cats, he's probably have better access to him. Some of these people who actually created some of these brands, there'll be less people. So, Chris Souders with Slunger Catch, got to go see him. He gave me a nice. He thought about this hat because he got it, and he said, "Man, this thing is like made for melons. It's really big," and he said, "That'll fit Dieter's head." But no, it's a style I like. I'm not the trucker hat guy. I like the ones that say smaller on my head. So there you go. Let's see what we got in here. Is Navionics not as good as seemed to be a 10-year-old card in my depth finder? Larry, Navionics is good. I think it's owned by Garmin now. I love their mapping. The problem is they got greedy and started charging for the chart viewer. You used to be able to, I'll go ahead and give you my rant from this video that you'll see when it comes out. You used to be able to go to Navionics site online. You could go to the chart viewer and you could look at any of the charts on any of the lakes anywhere. It was a great tool that I think made you want to buy the card so you had it on your boat. Now they charge you to look at it on the computer. That's why when I do this video, I use another chart viewer, and I put a link to that one in there. It's just kind of, listen, they got to make money. I know that making those charts ain't cheap, but I don't know. It just seemed like a money grab and greediness and all that kind of stuff. So that's just me. That's just me being bitter and mad at them and all that. But it is what it is. So. Met Steve Douglas, super awesome guy. He tried to call you when we were talking. I was actually taping a podcast when that happens. Apologies. And I got out, so I was like, why is Steve calling me? And I walked out. Usually he yells at me for something. I've done something wrong. So I said, what did I do wrong? I haven't actually done anything wrong today. And no, I went out and walking around and seen him. And yeah, he said it was you that was looking for me. So. Get you a t-shirt and a lanyard. There you go. That's cool. Like I said, it's a good souvenir thing if you get a shirt out of it. I mean, that's $20 of it. And you get a little bit early, so no free parking at all. Kurt is 100% correct. Nobody gets in free. As I said earlier, yeah, there's no parking with any of it. It's a total deal by the people that run the expo center. totally separate from totally separate from what goes on with the Catfish Conference. They have no control over it whatsoever. Have you ever used CMAP's application? I'm trying to think is what is on my actual rants now. I'll have to look at that and see what that is. I'll have to see what that one is. It's got the color shading and all that kind of stuff. Sadly, I I'm not techie geeky and keeping up with what all the names are and stuff. Isn't that silly? As much as I'm into this, I don't keep up with all the names. I'm not sure if that's the C maps or what I got. So, D Money, you demand Melhorn. You're very kind, very sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Evening dinner. How tired are you getting up 2:30 a.m. to start my trip? Well, you'll have a good trip. You'll have a good drive. Roads are great, back in good shape. I'm not that tired. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you haven't noticed or haven't followed the channel long, I've lost some weight the past year or so, and even more the past about 4 months. And I do a lot of walking now, and that has and the eating, the diet more than anything. I eat differently now. I eat a very low carb diet and actually a very high protein diet. It's actually borderline carnivore, and it's made an amazing difference in how much energy I have. And it's way different than it was the last time I was here. I can tell you that. The days seem to be more fatiguing and long, and it makes a difference. So, not that bad, considering the fact it's 9:30 and I'm still up doing this. Pretty cool. I had a good time today, though. Taping the podcast was nice, and there was enough of that, and then getting around and talking to you folks, there was enough of that mixed in to keep it interesting. So, had a good time. It's been fun so far, and it's going to be even better tomorrow. And yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, the ponytail. Somebody asked me about that today, and I made the joke to my wife, because my wife, she loves it. And when she first met me, way back, many years like you know, I had long hair then. I'd gotten out of the military, decided to let my hair go, wasn't going to cut it. And anyway, I made the joke after I cut it off last time. I said, I ain't going to cut my hair unless I'm, you know, I think I said, yeah, the next time you see me weigh 200 pounds, I'll grow a ponytail. We getting close. So I'm either gonna have to start eating or see if she remembers that. She hadn't mentioned it. Luckily, she never watches any of the content I put out, so she won't remember this. But no, I don't know. It was fun for a while, but like Lyle Stokes said, about the second time you're on a mechanic's creeper sliding under the car to change your oil, and your ponytail gets wrapped up in the wheel, and it happened. And yeah, it's I'm too old for that. I think if it could be like super duper long, really quick, it'd be cool. But yeah, I'm kind of done. I don't think so. So, Fish Expo in Knoxville is always packed. $12 to get in, free parking. There you go. That must be. Is that the East Tennessee Fishing Expo in Knoxville that you're talking about? That's a big show, from what I understand, and it's always a one I want to go to. I've never been to. It's always on a bad weekend. ET, thank you for your service. Thank you. Appreciate that. As I say, there's a lot of people that done a whole lot more than me. So tip your hat to them. Those are the ones that I'm glad were there. They made sure we had runways and air conditioning when I showed up. So I appreciate that. I really do. There's always joke about that. There were people did a whole heck of a lot more. So so what we got in here, and my wife doesn't see half of what I do. Yeah, it's I love her. My wife loves me. But she's so detached from this world. It's like I said when I did the thing about the award, the whole YouTube thing, and any of y'all that are creating content will know that is that it's a lonely journey for the most part. You get some people that have a little enthusiasm for what you're doing, and all that's great, but when it gets right down to doing it and creating it, you're kind of on your own with the ideas, the editing, the posting, all that kind of stuff, and you have to be okay with that. You'll have some cheerleaders, but the cheerleaders will move off to other stuff and taking care of kids and taking care of family members and doing their own thing. So It's a sole pursuit, but you guys are my cheerleaders. You keep me doing it, keep me coming back, all that kind of stuff. Went to Knoxville the first time this year, was not impressed. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I keep saying I want to go, and it just seems like the weekend it falls on is always an odd one. That something's going on, and I can't remember if it's the Ice Bowl or something like that. Bullock Experience. Hello, Mr. Dita. Hello. I hope you're doing well. Wanted more catfish stuff. Yeah, that is one thing. You got a good point on there. That the Catfish and Crappie Expo is called what it is for a reason, and it's got a lot of catfish and stuff. Somebody was asking me today on whether, we'll go into the product, but they had a product that was fairly specific to the catfish world, and if they should attend the Palmetto Classic, which is an outdoor show in South Carolina and Columbia every spring. I've been to a massive show at the fairgrounds, multiple buildings, and I said no. I said I've been to that show several times. The fishing selection is very minimal, and it's basically flea market fishing gear, if that makes any sense. It's just a lot of El Cheapo stuff and a couple of vendors, and it wasn't a good fit for the catfish stuff. And it's the one thing about this. It's the only place in the country you'll find catfish specific content in a fishing show, and that's cool. That's good. Don't expect to see it anywhere else. Don't expect to go to a boat show anywhere and see it. I know there's a big fishing show up in Raleigh. There's that East Tennessee fishing show, and it is a lot more stuff that is not really in the world that we're kind of into, and probably more crappie fishing stuff there, but a lot of bass fishing, that kind of stuff. So there you go. Well, folks, I'm going to jump off here, get a little stuff tidied up before I go. Mr. B asked, what boat do I use? I got a Lund. I got the big Lund, 21-foot Lund, and also a Carolina Skiff. I've still got my Carolina Skiff fiberglass boat, so you'll see one of those too in the video. But jump off here for now. I'll be doing some more shorts from the conference tomorrow, and hopefully I get to see some of y'all. Talk to you soon.